Alright, so before we get started, on Wednesday is homework and vocab day, so be sure you are taking care of, on Wednesday, homework and vocab, and on Thursday, you have a test in this class. It will be on the computer. You don't have to take it in person or anything, so be sure that you take that test. I'll send reminders, but just to let you know. Alright, today we're going to be doing total surface area. We are on page 59 of our journal. Total surface area. Total surface area. So for this, we need to make ourselves a little note. We're going to use big P, which is perimeter of the base. And big B, which is area of the base. Alright, give you a minute to get that down. Alright, so we're going to be looking at three different shapes again, and we're going to be finding the total surface area of those. So we're going to have three. So if you want to go ahead and divide it into three sections, you can. That's fine. Alright, so our first one that we're going to look at is rectangular prisms. And our total surface area, which means it's going to cover all of the surfaces, is going to be S equals PH plus 2B. So our first shape, draw a tall, skinny rectangle, and connect my bases. Or connect my bases by, so we're going to have 7, 4, and 10. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw lines on the middle, because we're going to do two different rectangular bases. Alright, so our first thing is S equals PH plus 2B, is we're going to find our perimeter. So I'm going to do 4 plus 10, but it's got 4 sides, so I'm going to add the other two, 4 plus 10, to get a perimeter of 28. Now I'm going to find my big B, which is area of the base. So I'm going to do base times height. So 4 times 10, which is 40. And so now I have that P and that B that I need for my formula. So my surface area is going to be S equals perimeter, which is 28, times my height, which is 7. Sorry, I should have shaded my bases on these. As always, if I go too fast, because I'm trying to make this video not too long, just pause your video. Plus 2 times 40. Plug that into a calculator, and I get 276. Alright, let's look at another rectangular prism. I'm going to number this one as number 2. Try to draw the same rectangle twice. Connect my bases by connecting those vertices. And I'm going to shade the top and the bottom. So as always, if you need a little extra time, go for it. Pause the video. This is going to be 9. This is going to be 5. And this is going to be 7. Alright, so S equals PH plus 2B. So I need to find my P. So I'm going to add those sides together. So 9 plus 5. Ooh, sorry. But remember, it's 4-sided. 9. And then my fourth side is going to be 5. So I get a perimeter 28. Alright, then I'm going to do my big B. It's just going to be base times height. So I'm going to do 9 times 5. And I get a big B of 45. So S equals 28 times my height. Height is 7. Plus 2 times my big B, which is 45. Getting that from right here. Plug all that into my calculator and I get 286. Alright, so I'm going to draw a line because we're going to look at triangular prisms next. So next one's going to be my triangular prisms. And it has a formula of S equals PH plus 2B. So it's the same. This is going to be labeled as number 3. This one over here will be number 4. So we're going to start by drawing a triangle. And then I'm going to try to draw the same triangle and then connect my bases. This right here is going to be 13. This has a line, and that's 7. 6. And this has a dotted line, an arrow to it saying that it is 8. So if you need a minute to copy that down, alright, so I'm going to use S equals PH plus 2B, so I need to figure out my perimeter. I'm going to shade my two bases so I can easily see that perimeter and that area. So P is going to be, adding my 3 sides. Well, I can see one side here is 6. I see one side there is 7. The third side's also going to be 7 because these two lines right here tell me that those sides are equal. So big P equals 20. Big B, my formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to do 1/2 times my base of that triangle, which is 6, times the height of that triangle, which is 8. Half of 6 is 3. 3 times 4 is 24. So my big B equals 24. Alright, so once I have that big B and that big B, it's just going back to that surface area formula and plugging my stuff in. So S equals P, which is 20, times my height of my whole figure, which is 13, plus 2 times my big B, which is 24. I would plug that into a calculator, and I get a surface area of 308. Let's look at another one. So do 2 right triangles, connected the bases. 4, 3, 5 over there, and 8. Give you a minute to copy that down if you need it. Alright, so I'm going to shade my bases. is going to still equal pH plus 2b. So I need to find my perimeter. So I'm going to add the three sides, 3, 4, 5. Which gives me a perimeter of 12. Go to my big B, which is going to be 1/2 base times height. So 1/2, the base is 3. The height is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Half of that is 6. Go back to my original formula. S equals P, which is 12, times the height. Remember, the height connects those two bases together. Plus 2 times 6. Plug that into my calculator. 12 times 8 plus 2 times 6, and I get 108. All right, let's draw a line. Our last shape we're going to look at is a cylinder. And the formula is kind of messy. I'm going to have to write it sideways, actually, because it's pretty long. But it is S equals, I'll turn the camera sideways. S equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. And I know that is a messy one, but my students that have already done it, they thought it was a lot easier because it's a one-stop problem. If you need more time, just pause it. I'm going to go ahead and rotate back. This question will be number 5. It is important that you're numbering the questions, because when it comes to journal tests, I usually ask what was example 5 or example 7 or whatever. All right, so we're going to draw a cylinder. And we just draw an oval, and connect them. It never looks pretty, in my opinion. My drawing never does. The height of it is 12, and that is going to be a 5. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right, so I'm going to start with, was I given radius or diameter? Was it given a radius, which is awesome. So I'm going to look at this formula. So if S equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. So 2 times pi, oh, I'm going to shade my bases, I'm sorry. So 2 times pi times a radius of 5 times a height of 12. So in your calculator, you would do all of that, plus 2 times 3.14 times 5 squared. So I'd put all of this into a calculator, and then plus all of this into a calculator. And when I do it, I get a surface area of 533.8. All right, and then number 6, our last one is actually, make sure it's showing, okay, is a big base. So that's going to be 9, and this is going to be 7. All right, so I'm going to shape my bases. Was I given radius or diameter? I was given radius, 9. So I'm going to go to my formula. S equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. You don't have to have these memorized. They're on your mathematics chart. You could use a mathematics chart on your test on Thursday. You could use a mathematics chart on your STAR test. Sorry, I went blank there for a second. Not real sure why. Alright, so now I'm going to plug in. to write small because I write too big. So 2 times 3.14 times a radius of 9 times a height of 7 plus 2 times 3.14 times r squared. So plug that whole thing into the calculator and push equals, and I get 904.32. Alright. That is it for your notes today. You also have an assignment. That assignment that's on there is from Friday's notes. You're going to use Friday's notes to answer those questions. And then you have a test on Thursday, and you're going to have homework and vocab on Wednesday. Please take care of that business. Make sure you're doing what you need to do. We're at the end, so let's not give up. If you have any questions, as always, send them my direction. And talk to you tomorrow.